What's up, guys? Hope you're having an awesome day. Today, we're going to be going over contracts. And so this is going to be a little bit of a longer video. I'm not going to try and belabor it too much, but this is super important, obviously. And we're just going to go over reading a contract. We're not actually going to talk about what to negotiate. That'll be in a different video. But I want you guys to understand a contract and how to read a contract. And before we get into that, I would like to qualify myself for you, so you know that I'm not some crazy redheaded dude wearing a flamingo shirt. Then does he know what he's talking about? So my background, I've been a nurse for 10 years and I've been traveling since 2014. Done a lot of different types of travel: seasonal contracts, internal travel contracts, direct contracts, agency contracts, like most of us are familiar with, PR and float pool, that type of stuff. And so, the full gamut. And so this is for you, maybe new, maybe experienced, but you've never really figured out how to do all the contract stuff, or you just feel like there's something hidden in the contract. Well, we're going to show you where those things are so that you can then, combat that with your increasing your awareness. Also to, qualify myself, I'm going to share my screen real quick. Let's see here. And so not also, along with being a registered nurse and having my license, I'm also a licensed real estate agent. And so I've been a real estate agent for since 2020. And so I've been, doing with contracts. And I kind of had a big aha moment about a couple of years ago when the first time I read a residential, purchase contract. And that was because I've actually bought and owned a home back in 2014. I bought my first house when I was 24, but I didn't read the contract. I literally didn't read the contract. I just signed where I was told to sign. And if anyone else can relate, those things are long. They're actually 400. And well, this one in Arizona is 437 lines long. And so, there's a lot of things in these contracts that maybe we don't necessarily pay attention to. And so just so in a buyer or real estate agency disclosure, in order for me to be a real estate agent, either as a buyer or a seller's agent, I have fiduciary duties for those people. And so I'm not legally allowed to give you advice outside of real estate, or, financial advice outside of real estate, or, all those types of things. But I'm going to do my best to, give you information that will equip you to make better financial decisions. Like, this video is for entertainment purposes only, in regards to, travel nursing and all that. But I hope it adds value to you. If it does add value to you, please like and subscribe, and, leave a comment of other things that you'd like videos on, because I'm going to be doing a whole list of videos of, different types of, contracts. And then, like I said, negotiations later, and then other things that people really have a lot of questions about. So the more comments and questions that we get, the more content we can provide for you to make, travel nursing, travel allied health, whether you're a respiratory therapist, CNA, whatever, it's pretty cool. And so I'm going to get rid of these contracts, and we're actually going to talk about a travel nursing contract. I got stuff in my way. Get rid of this. And so here's a travel nurse contract. I got rid of some information so no one gets in trouble. Right here, you're going to see the terms. Most of you have you just go right here, right to the pay, weekly per diem, and you forget about the rest. Not all of us, but some of us. Early on, I didn't really care. I didn't pay attention. I didn't read the contract or the important information. I just saw the pay and I was like, let's go. Where do I sign? And so there's all sorts of different things in these contracts that you got to be aware of. And a lot of us, what I've seen in the Facebook groups as of late, is all these massive rate changes in the middle of our contracts, right? We're all pissed about the decreased rate. And there's things that we can do about it, but there's also things that we can't do about it. Like if the hospital really does change the bill rate, they really do just change the bill rate. That's out of our control. And, in order for a travel nurse agency to be profitable, they have to take a certain amount to cover their costs. They pay for your drug screening, your titers, all those types of things, licensure in other states if they do that, or if you do that. So it's they do have costs. And so I'm not against travel agencies, but I'm all for transparency. And some of these travel agencies, that is not what they do. They are not transparent. They are a little shisty, if you will. Then I don't think they necessarily want to be or try to be. It's just in the nature of business, right? Like they're trying to maximize their profits while we're trying to maximize our profits and all that type of stuff. And so, you know, that's just what it is. And it's just, don't take it personal. Your recruiter's not going to take it personal. It's just part of the process. But here's one of the things I highlighted in the contract that most of us overlook. The company may change your positions, work duties, and work locations and requirements. That is the sentence that allows them, and it's in here twice, right here and down here. That is the sentence that allows them to change the rates mid-contract. Now, we're going to talk, like I said, we're going to talk about negotiating and, you know, how to change the contract, which you can, in more detail in the next video. But I'm going to show you next in this example, original. Let me get rid of this. Bring this to the center. Forgive all the stuff on the right side. Let's see here. So here is a changed contract. In this contract, it went from regular hours to guaranteed hours. There's some approved time off. You can see that the rate changed a little bit. And I'll go in, like I said, I'll go into more detail why the rate changed. And I'm going to use the same examples in the next video so you can see them side by side. And I'm going to discuss, you know, why the changes were made the way they were. And so there's so many things that you can add and negotiate in a contract, and we're going to go over those. So I hope this video helps you. You got to read your contract. That's the most important thing. Just read every line. I know it's tedious. I'm not one that likes tediousness. I'm kind of like, God, just what the heck, you know? And so, but as I've experienced this and had that big aha moment, you know, becoming a real estate agent, like these aren't complicated contracts. And if you just read them, you're gonna, you know, just know what you're getting. And then you can't be mad at the provider of the contract if you don't read it, because if you didn't read it, then you signed something and you're holding yourself to that contract without knowing what you're signing. So just sign it, or don't just sign it, read it. Then if you read over the contract and it's not exactly what you discussed with the manager and the recruiter, then don't sign it and tell the recruiter, you know, there's mistakes. And so I hope this, again, adds value to you. And we are going to hop in the next video. We're going to hop into the negotiations and what you'll probably all want. But like I said, it's so important to read your contracts. Hope you have an awesome day, and we will see you on the next one.